Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Beautyish Radio. We are we're trying to get together again this morning, right? We're always getting it together.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Beautyish Radio, guys. I am Joy M. Hutton, founder of On The Go Glam.
And I am Lydia Evans, founder of SWG Essentials.
Also known as Swag Essentials. She always forgets to tell y'all about the swagger.
Swag Essentials.
Yes, and we talk about on Beautyish Radio, we talk about beauty, business.
And all that ish.
Yes. Okay. We gon' get it smoother and smoother every time we go, y'all.
It's my favorite day of the week.
It's mine too.
Yeah.
I love Beautyish Radio.
Yeah.
So yes, we are getting you guys tuned in here today. This is our podcast, and so I'm so glad you are here joining us. And let's go ahead and kick it off.
All right. Sounds good to me, Jizzle.
All right, so we are going to start doing what we like to call Beauty of the Week. And so our Beauty of the Week this week is Tracy Ellis Ross.
Isn't she gorgeous?
Yes, don't we love her?
I love her. She's so effortlessly chic. I mean,
Yes.
she's so fly. She's one of those people that she's good in any hood.
Yes.
Would you agree
she
with that?
is.
Yeah, she's
She
good in
is.
any hood.
Yes.
So yeah, I really do love Tracy Ellis Ross.
I
Beautiful
love
woman.
her.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, hey, Maurice. Hey, Michelle. We
Hey,
got some folks
Michelle.
joining us today. Yes, and you know, the thing about it, when people think of celebrities, they think, oh, they started a brand,
Yes.
overnight success. Boom, I'm just going to, go and purchase their products. She started a hair care line.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And, one of the things about it is they grind just like we do.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get that startup going and what have you, and product testing, all of that.
All of that.
So I think it's so interesting when people just automatically just, get behind a product that celebrities have.
Yes.
And
Absolutely. Somebody phone ringing in the background. Just why we gonna act like that elephant ain't in the room. Somebody need to get their phone right now. Before I answer. I'll
Right.
answer a phone.
Right.
I answer
Like,
a phone.
hello.
¿Cómo está?
Right,
¿Cómo
right.
está?
right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So well, the phone's still ringing, but that's okay. That's
it.
So but they grind just like we do. But it's interesting how people will support a celebrity product before
Absolutely.
they support yours.
Oh, we don't want
Can
to go
we-
there.
can we talk
Who
about
wants
that?
to go there?
Ooh.
Not me.
Ooh.
Not this girl.
Ooh.
I don't want to go there.
No.
But no, at the end of the day, you have to understand in the eyes of other people
Yes.
that aren't directly super duper connected to me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a journey that they adapt to, and those are generally the people that that's my fan base,
Right,
And so they
absolutely.
look at Swag Essentials as like this amazing brand by this
Mm-hmm.
amazing woman. So it's the same way that Tracy has her following. She has people who met her and encountered her through that show Girlfriends, which was like I was hooked on that for years.
Exactly.
But in the same token, she was going through the same thing that most of us go through. Especially, I can imagine her being in Hollywood and being biracial, and then
Right.
having in most cases, the people that are doing your hair and makeup look nothing like you.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference, especially if they're not versed.
Exactly.
Like if you go through a program in your training where you learn how to deal with all ethnicities, people feel more comfortable because they feel like, I know. But if someone has to ask you through the process, so what kind of shade? So what
Right.
kind of hair care?
Yeah,
they don't.
yeah.
They're kind of working their way through it because it's a job they got booked
Right.
for. So through those processes, a lot of Hollywood actresses, like, they go through hell with their hair and makeup.
Yeah.
And it does almost navigate them into the beauty realm because they start to see what a deficit it is there.
Right.
So I know that Tracy has an amazing line. I think that hers was a natural transition though.
Yes.
Because it was just like how everyone loves you and your hair. It
Right.
was the same thing with Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, people start to, like, people ask you all the time, what do you use? See, now I got to make a hair care line. See, I'm ever trying to make a line for somebody,
I know,
baby.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
so-
we need to get the
that's it.
juices and berries.
Just Juices and Berries by Joy.
Right.
I like that.
Yes, Naya actually has a hairline.
Does she?
Yes, a hairline called Juices and Berries. I love
Oh,
it. I
how
haven't tried it
cute.
yet. It's so
Cute.
cute. But yeah, and it took her a while to be comfortable with her hair.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, she was trying to really get those curls down, and now she's got it. Like,
Hey, Sierra.
She's
Sorry.
got it. Sierra's on.
Yes.
Boo.
Hey, Sierra.
Yeah, she's got it down now. And so, you know, but it takes a while. Like, natural hair is no joke. But,
See, even my phone don't understand natural hair. My phone said, I'm sorry.
I can't quite hear you.
Right.
Yeah, so, but it's a transition.
It is.
Trying to get these curls popping. And yeah, y'all, I'm back to the curls today because.
Right.
Yeah, the struggle was real with the straight hair and the humidity in Houston. It won't let me be great. And I'm also not ready to let anybody touch my hair again. So there's that.
Right. No,
but yeah, you sitting up here trying to find products. But yeah, I can just imagine the strife that she went through still as a celebrity.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, you're trying to come out with a product.
Yeah, so now it was a natural pick for us.
Yeah.
So we're going to do more of those Beauty of the Weeks.
Yes,
I think
love
that's
it.
really nice to highlight and give that love back. And and of course it won't be someone necessarily always in the beauty industry per se, but she is just someone who's beautiful inside and out joy.
Yeah,
so I'm
she
excited
is.
to
I
kind of
love her.
see as we go along, you know, who we find. And she may be someone you know, and it may be someone we direct you to.
Absolutely.
Someone that you've been sleeping on, didn't even know this woman was like a diva out here, killing it in whatever industry she's in, as well as being beautiful, most importantly, inside and out.
And out.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so now since we have talked about, you know, support, right?
Yes.
That's what we're going to segue in today, because today's episode is all about support.
What about your friends?
What about your friends?
And I cannot sing it all, so y'all don't even
be around. Yeah.
Oh,
so-
I'm so sorry because
No.
I'm a little colored girl and I have to do some shout outs here because I promised my daddy.
Oh, shout outs.
My sweet, sweet daddy.
Oh,
my
love Papa
daddy, Ned Evans Jr. Happy Thursday, Dad. I told him that I would shout him out
happy
today.
Thursday,
he came by.
Papa Bear.
He popped up on me. I don't see him as much as I used to. We're just trying to kind of keep those boundaries with him as he goes through, because he's still going through that recovery process. That COVID's nothing to play with. And then also I want to shout out to Tamika, who's a cousin of someone very special to me. So I just wanted I saw she's on. So thank you for tuning in, sweetheart. Thank you for tuning in.
All right,
yes, that's it.
All right, and we love our boo boo Sierra.
Yes.
Too.
Oh, love her to death.
Love her to death.
Yeah.
And shout out to everyone who's joining us this morning. We thank you all for tuning in. And just a PSA, COVID precautions have been taken for this live studio broadcast. Okay. Y'all know I love to say that. But no, for real, because the COVID is real. Okay. So moving on to what we're talking about, support, right?
Yes.
You know, when we start businesses, and I was literally just talking about this on a live last week with the Blairisms. They're such a fun group of guys. But I was talking about this last week in terms of you start a business and you think that your friends and family are going to automatically support you.
I get it. Because God knows I've been there. I might just be recovering from that from that issue, you know, of understanding this process and this growth. But yes, I'm 1,000% with you with that. And I understand, because I think that the first thing you do in life is you immediately reach to those who are close to you.
Right, exactly.
And who's closer to you than number one, your family, and then number two, your friends.
Your friends, yeah.
But I also have something to circle back around on my thoughts on that now.
Okay.
Versus Lydia, like 13, 14 years ago.
Right.
You could have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I you know.
Yeah.
This Lydia has a different understanding from truly a business perspective. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead. Let's delve. I want to delve into this.
I just think it's so important. I mean, like you said, and I had to learn some hard lessons too, right? Because I really learned this lesson when I decided to do crowdfunding for my second business. And you remember how stressed out I was about that? And I'm like, no one's supporting and blah, blah, blah. But I had to realize that.
Not the phone again.
Right.
Mike, turn the phone on.
Right.
Tell your girlfriend stop calling.
Right. So, Mike's girlfriend supports
Mike is our production engineer today. We kicked Ruffy's ass to the curb last week because he didn't do good. So we got Mike today. And my girlfriend won't stop calling.
Right.
Sorry about that. Keep going, Joy.
Sorry to this man.
You're right.
So, but I realized, I was like, man, like no one's supporting, blah, blah, blah. Or I thought that more people would support. But I had to realize that support comes in different ways, right? Because crowdfunding is financial, but I had to realize that support comes in different ways. People can support you by sharing. They can support by telling someone about it. They can support by just saying a prayer for you. I hope you get the money you need because I ain't got it. Or there are so many different ways. And so I had to have a self-reflection moment and realize that was the case. But I also realized, too, that there are, people who are, as you like to say, inbox killers.
Oh. Inbox killers. We're going to define that on here.
Yes, we're going to talk about inbox killers.
We defined it before on the show. But y'all need to know because you got to be clear.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We're going to talk about the inbox killers.
Got to be clear on what the inbox killer is.
It's a lot of those out there. But I had to realize, like, support comes in so many different ways. And some people just may not be on board with what you're doing. Mm-hmm. They love you, but they don't love what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't like your product, or it doesn't serve me, or I don't resonate with it. And that's okay. So I think that, we just have to understand the root of people's lack of support.
Yeah.
And or perceived lack of support, because it may just be that they just choose to support us in a different way.
And I think we're sensitive because also it's our baby.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think as you kind of honestly, as you grow though your business into more of a brand, it stops becoming so much of your baby. Mm-hmm. Does not mean you don't love it.
Right.
You love it. Oh, I'll claw your eyes out behind SW. I'm talking about a battle cat action on your ass behind my brand.
Exactly.
But on the flip side, the dynamics of my relationship and the way I dance with the business now is different than when I first started, where it was like I was so hypersensitive about everything.
Yeah.
Now it's just and then on top of that, you have more occurrences and situations that happen that kind of teach you this is how it goes for everybody. You're not the only one.
Right.
Unfortunately, I do feel like it's a little bit more consuming in our culture.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of other reasons for that that we can't really delve into today. But I do feel like that's something that as you start to see, it's not just you start to separate you from the business and the disgust that comes with it sometimes of the lack of support of those around you.
Exactly.
So I think that when you first start out, it's like a newborn baby, but it's almost like you see a mama that has 5 kids.
Yeah.
She's not like wash your hands, sanitize, let me spray you down with disinfectant before you can get within the same room of my baby. By the time you get to the 4th baby, you're like, get him up and his boo-boo and everything else and bring him over here for me real quick. Help me out. Mm-hmm. Just whatever. Just help me. Hands on deck for me, So I think that's the same thing as you go through with your brand. You kind of get to a point where you start to say, okay, I have to kind of let go and let God like a lot more than I ever have in order for your brand to really fly. And then once you do that, you start to really look at it as a product.
Right.
Instead of a person. You stop personifying your business and start looking at it as a product.
Exactly.
And I think that when people get to a certain length of time as a business owner, if they don't get to that understanding, it's going to be damn hard for their business to grow.
Right, because you just have that personal, that emotional attachment to it, and so you have to let it go. You know?
It's like the sun that you won't
get
off of it.
Get off.
It's the sun. You know what happens, y'all, when the sun don't get off in time.
5 years old and giving the milk.
And I love you, but you got to get up off of it.
Right.
Or you just going to be a pain in the ass for every woman you encounter.
Exactly.
So it's the same thing with a business. It's a personify. So you just like stop looking at it as a child and look at it as an adult. Mm-hmm. So I have a different perspective on that because it's like I wasted a lot of time worried about who didn't support me. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And family members and friends. I wasted so much freaking time early on in my business, even midway through my business.
Right.
Shit, right after Shark Tank. Yeah. I was still bitter.
Right.
I was like, where they at?
Right.
Because I had all these new people supporting me, complete strangers.
Yeah.
I mean, straight fandom. Like, oh my God, Lydia,
Right.
you're the most awesomest, best ever.
Yeah.
You even look at my social media pages, 99% of people that follow me are not people that are close to me.
Right. You
People
don't
that are
even
close to
know
me
them.
want to follow me on my personal wall so they can still feel like they're personally attached to me.
Yeah.
You understand? They'll friend request me there,
Yeah.
but they won't follow my fan page.
Right.
It happens.
It does.
Yeah.
And like you said, we have to remove the emotional side of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise that is going to make us stagnant in
Yep.
our growth.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, that was definitely a hard lesson I had to learn. And so now I'm not concerned about it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever, I'm going to put the information out there, and whoever wants to jump on the bandwagon,
Yes.
great. But if not, there is a target market out there for me that
Yes.
that I'm reaching.
Absolutely.
And it has nothing to do with the people that I'm seeking that support from.
Yes.
So I think, and that's another thing too, like, you know, instead of trying to target your family and friends, target your actual
Target market.
Yes.
Hello.
Target your actual market.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and
I think what the problem becomes though, Joy, is that if you feel like some of those friends and family members
Yeah.
fall in that target
Right.
market,
Right.
and then you feel like, but they buy every damn thing else.
Exactly. Yeah.
They buy everything else.
Right.
You know, so it's you know, sometimes it does trip me out.
Yeah.
You know, I looked at I was in Florida recently, and I was
Mm-hmm.
and we went to like this little mall area, it's an outdoor mall,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean the line was wrapped around the building for Bath and Body Works and Body Shop, and
Getting
I mean
those
I'm
candles.
talking about wrapped
They're
around
getting
the
those
building.
3-wick candles.
Right.
But you won't buy one from your local small
Right. No,
business.
that's right. Well, no. And I know so many candle makers and crafters, and I was like, that's crazy. Imagine if you just spread the wealth a little bit.
Right.
You know, I understand so and so may think that this is the best scent in the world at this place, but what would be wrong with you saying, "Let me buy them something different this
Right.
year. Let me step outside the box and introduce them," because that is the gap between a business owner and the consumer is the exposure.
Yeah.
Is the them being able to experience the product or service of the small business.
Right.
So if you know about it, it's really good to support that
Yeah.
and share that with people because then they become more aware of it.
Right.
And that's how brands become household names.
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing we want to do when it comes to holidays is flock to familiarity
Yeah,
and
exactly.
familiar brands and services.
Yeah.
Because we want to be so impressing upon the person who opens the bag because we feel like, oh my God, they're going to just die when they see that I got them a Gucci bag.
Right.
But there's also
There's
other
some
local
high-end
designers that are
yeah.
high end.
High end.
High
You know,
end.
there's a woman that I follow on Instagram, and she has a large following, and I love that she puts out, you know, Black-owned businesses.
Yes.
Like she put out actually a high-end designer bag, high-end designer shoes that are made by, you know, Black owned businesses.
Right.
You know, and so I love that because we're quick to
Don't laugh at me. She laughing at me.
we're quick to rally behind the brands that people know, but
Yes.
not the brands that people don't know. So just because your bag doesn't say Gucci and it says, I don't know, whoever, Joy Hut.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I love my designer
Yeah.
brands for certain
Yeah.
things pieces that catch my eye.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I also have a Nigerian woman's bag
yeah. And it's
in my
beautiful.
closet, and it's
right.
it is right along a Gucci price tag.
Right. Hello. Exactly.
And nobody knows her brand in comparison
Right.
to Gucci. And I wear it like I'm wearing a Louis Vuitton
Yeah.
Don on my back. You know what I mean? Like, it's a badass style.
Yeah.
So, you know, but unfortunately, she feels like she gets more support outside of hers. So she gets in all of these different like high-end boutiques in the really hotty-toddy areas.
Yeah.
But she can't get people similar to
Yeah.
myself to
To
say,
support
come on
her.
in my boutique and you can share my
Right.
boutique for the day and kind of get some of the traction from my boutique. It becomes you're not quite good enough. No one's
It's
going to
the- it's
spend
the
$1,500
notoriety.
for that bag. But she
Yeah.
does have people like
Right.
me and other sisters
Yeah.
and brothers that support her leather goods.
But that's the thing, right? Because why aren't people supporting her? Is it because, you know, we support the well-known brands, but because of the lack of notoriety and the the celebrityism?
It's the je ne
attached
sais
to
quoi
it,
that
right.
comes with
but
it.
if a
I get
celebrity
it.
bought her bag, then everybody would be on it. You know?
And I'm talking
it's
about the
like-
next day.
Right.
You know
that
what I
sold out.
love? You know who does that? And I have to applaud her. Oh my God, Tayana Taylor.
Yes. Yes.
That sister will just randomly pop up on you and support your brand real quick and send a whole lot of traffic your way. And she won't. That's one celebrity that won't take anything for free.
Right.
So that's I guess, and then that's another thing. When you get into the Hollywood realm, you understand celebrities don't pay for all the stuff that they have.
Right.
So it kind of reconfigures your mind to stop trying to chase material shit because they can't even afford it.
Exactly.
They can't afford it the way you think that they can.
Yeah.
Like unless you got to be like on the Denzel Washington level and getting those kind of films constantly. Like you don't understand how starving they are really behind the scenes.
Right.
So when they're dripped in all this stuff or they rock this or they're on their IG live talking about thank you Donatella, thank you. That stuff was sent 100% free to them.
Yeah.
100% free. So it's like when you really understand how Hollywood works, you don't get so impressionable by those types of titles and labels and names because you understand it means nothing.
Right.
I would shout out Donatella free thank you on my wall.
Right.
If she sent me a whole box of $100,000 worth of goods, I'm gonna be like, Donatella,
you the real MVP. Right.
I put her in the trade.
Right.
You remember Dave Chappelle in the trade?
Yeah.
We trade her.
All right.
Bring her on over here.
Exactly.
You know, so
exactly.
I just, but in the same token, it's like, but I think it's important for people like you and I that have experienced certain things.
Yeah.
The wool has been pulled. Can we say wool been pulled?
Wool been pulled.
Okay. So we've had a taste of certain things and but we choose to walk in our path and in our individuality, you know, and in our purpose. And kind of show people again, like we always preach through the beautyish platform, you can be exactly who you are and start with what you have where you are right now and build something amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I think the lesson here is, it's great to rally the support of your family and your friends, but really put that energy into focusing on your target market and know who that is. You know, you have to do the research, because you can put a product out there and no one will like it. So you have to make sure there's actually a viable market for it so that people will support you. And then doing the work to make sure that it gets out there and to the right people. You just have to do that. So
yeah, and I think there's also a portion of it that with entrepreneurship, I think that what happens is most entrepreneurships don't have business degrees or MBAs. 99% of them don't. So I think what happens is when you start to speak, I've noticed when I do speaking engagements and I get an audience in front of me, they'll sit there and act like they understand what I'm saying when I start dropping the business jargon, but they have no clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I think another thing, I wanted to interject and say this, I think another thing that's important if you decide to navigate into this realm and you decide to, on the entrepreneurial side, because this show is not just for entrepreneurs, we know that, but if you decide to get off into that, I think if you don't know business very well, one of my best suggestions to you would be to at least go over the basics of business jargon. Because I think if I were to say to someone who has a barbecue shack, you need to find your demographic market, stop depending on the family.
Right.
That brother or that sister don't hear that.
Yeah, they like,
what they hear is,
but
my family barbecue all the time.
Exactly. They've been eating my barbecue
and then when you say
years.
Find your demographic market or find your target market, that bells and whistles go off like that sounds like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And a company to do it. And in most cases, if you're going to go that route, if you're going to go big, you would like to start with, why would you not like to start with a marketing firm that can do that for you? Yeah. But that's not the case for most business owners. So there's ways to find your target market. But again, like Joy said, you have to research the market to see who buys that. And then you also put in your spin of who do you want to target to. Because sometimes I do believe you can actually create a product that you garner a certain audience.
Yeah.
But that has to be very, very targeted. Very targeted. You see what I mean? Like you create a product for a certain market. So if you create something and bring something to the market that's brand new, you're creating a sector. So I think that you can do that as well. But I don't want anyone who may be listening to get overwhelmed by the idea, because sometimes I think people look at where we are and they feel like, but I'm not there yet. I'm just starting. I'm putting ink to paper. Yeah. I don't know how it's overwhelming, and I never want people who are interested in going into this to get overwhelmed, because that's when people start to quit and bow out.
Exactly.
And it's not as overwhelming as you think it is, but it's not a cakewalk. But it's damn worth it. You know what I mean?
So, it is. It's totally worth it. Yeah. You got to do the work. Yeah. I heard this one entrepreneur say, he said, plan your work and work your plan. Yes. You have to. You can't And the thing is, surround yourself with people who know what they're doing, who have been there before, because sometimes, we have the pride and we don't want to talk to people about our failures and whatnot, but people have been there before.
Yes.
So we have to talk to them, and so I think that's important. And so you know what time it is.
See, she can't wait to get to this. She cut herself short.
Right.
Just to get to this part.
Right.
She likes to rag on people. Sick woman.
It is time for Girl Shut Up. All right, so let's go ahead and put this picture up here. This is from the Shade Room.
Y'all read that? Look at that. Take your time. Read that.
This is an ad from Amazing, I guess, a hair care brand, and it says that there's hair growth in 3 days.
Look at that. Look how that hair she grew in 3 days. Or he.
He or she.
No, that's it.
Listen.
All that in 3 days. No, but look at that. But look at the no cap. I see results after they see results after 2 days. I'm going to get another bottle, though, because I use TM. Too much, I'm assuming.
Too much.
And more than likely, this is the person that owns the brand.
Child, please.
This is the person that owns the brand.
Listen.
Yes.
I don't understand.
3 days. Let me tell you, I'm disappointed in myself. Because I need to do better.
But is it false advertisement?
Well, here's the thing. Your hair is always growing. But the problem is that your hair grows a centimeter every 28 days.
Right. So
that
when
was
I'm saying, whole Frodo. But chia.
Man, listen, and and it really sucks because unfortunately, people are so gullible,
right?
Golly.
And they'll go buy
They're
it, right?
buy
just to try it.
But the thing about brand integrity, and we'll have to touch on that, is important because that's how you survive. I could have easily scammed the hell out of millions of people and been a millionaire, and then took that money and then flipped it into something else real quick, and then just dealt with the backlash of you lied.
Yeah.
But But no, with this, just to kind of go into that, the hair grows 1 centimeter, which is basically 30% of an inch.
Yes.
A third of an inch every 28 days. So that wouldn't be enough growth for you to see.
In 3 days.
And that's of course your average head of hair. As we know, you have people who have the Kenya Moore hair that just grows like Rapunzel down their back. But that's a genetics thing. So if you look at her mama, they all hairy.
Right.
That's just how that's going to go.
Right.
So, it's a genetics thing. If your hair grows at a super fast pace, but that's beyond your control, just as your hair texture.
Yes. So,
So
we don't think it's possible to grow all that hair in 3 days. So we gonna give this amazing hair care brand, a girl shut up. Girl shut up. Yes,
I love it.
So guys, we hope you have found today's show informational.
Yes.
And as we always like to say, COVID precautions have been taken for this live studio.
Absolutely,
broadcast.
always.
All right, because we like to be safe out here in these streets.
And we like to hug.
Yes, exactly, because we love each other.
We do love each other.
We love each other. Can you tell? Can you tell?
Joy, someone was telling me how awesome our energy is together.
Yes.
I love it.
You're
You're like my alter me.
I know,
if
right?
I could stitch it together, you know what I mean? And just keep it nice and high.
Right. We like Yogi.
I be like you.
Yogi
I'm
and
just
Boo
all
Boo,
over
Arnold
placing.
and Danny DeVito.
Yes.
I'm the bite size.
That's it. A McNugget.
Yes. So, guys, we are on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Obviously, if you're tuning into our Facebook Live, you know where we are. So head on over to Instagram and follow us at Official Beautyish, where we will be posting updates. And if you want to be a guest, you want to sponsor us, or you want to be a guest. No, I said that. Be a guest, be a sponsor. I'm missing something, Lizzle. It's one more.
Hey.
Email us at hello@beautyish.com. And as always, we are here Thursdays at 10 a.m.
Yes.
Central Time. So tune in, and we will see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Peace.